Hi, I'm Phil Olley, and welcome to my virtual world. You know, I believe that success in business and in life is about playing to your strengths. It's about finding your unique talent and playing to that strength. And it's about having a world-class support structure to enable you to do that. And my strength, I recognised years ago, was in speaking and coaching people to help them improve their performance, improve their results, and get greater levels of success. And for small groups, I've got a studio set up in my office at home with good lighting, a good camera, good audio quality. But as I say, I believe in playing to your strengths. And when it comes to the big events, to keynote events where I'm speaking at conferences, I decided to use a studio, a proper professional studio, to enable me to give of my best. And so that allows me to focus on what I do best. And here I am today at Noisegate Studios, the studios that I've chosen, in a COVID-safe environment where myself and my producer, Matt, are in separate rooms. And I'd like to introduce you to talk a little bit about what we can do in terms of virtual keynote and conference speaking. Introduce you to Matt Katz of Noisegate Studios. Matt, can you hear me and are you there? As if by magic.
I certainly can hear you, Phil. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's great to be part of this, Matt, and I am delighted to be able to do this with your help because you have such a rich background of knowledge, experience and expertise in the field of audio and visual with, and I'm not going to blow your trumpet too much, but with, I think, 5 BAFTAs to your name just now. Maybe more since we last mentioned that. But
I've been lucky enough to be involved in BAFTA-winning projects here at the studio, but you're right in saying over the last year with the COVID pandemic, we've had to pivot and provide a range of other services in order to keep functioning as a business. And live streaming and virtual production is one of the areas that we've pivoted into.
Fabulous. So tell me a little bit about a couple of the features of working here at the studio. So tell me, for example, how we get this set up where you are effectively a remote guest within the studio.
Okay, so yes, I'm appearing on your virtual set as though I were a remote guest, and the switching software that we use for streaming has the facility to dial in people from anywhere in the world. So only the other week I was running a live stream where the 2 co-hosts were, in fact, one of them was in Singapore and one was in Chicago, and we had 12 other guests dialed in from Zurich, from Berlin, and from all over the States as well, and that was going out to a global audience. So really, geography is no limitation, and that's one of the things that I think will stick around beyond the pandemic is just what is possible with the technology. But clearly at this stage it's been forced upon us in that we're obliged to use this technology because we're not able to do things in person. So I'm switching the pictures here today using a system called vMix. And that allows me to bring in video to playback. I can bring in PowerPoints that you could put on this screen and dial in remote guests who all they need is their webcam, a microphone and a web browser, and they can come and join the show.
Fabulous. And that would be the case, so if we were doing a conference and I was keynoting for an audience, you could allow guests to appear individually from that audience as part of the speech.
You can dial in guests from, if you're going out to a Zoom call or a Teams call, we can bring them in as part of the show. But I think one of the key things that it enables you to do is to leverage your network and to bring in people to maybe be part of a spot, to do an interview and to contribute to and speak to some specific area that you're delivering on, just to really add value to a situation. And of course, nobody has to travel.
Yeah, fabulous. So tell me a little bit more about the Noisegate Studio setup. Tell me a bit about the hardware and your connectivity. That's a really impressive element to it.
Okay, yeah. So at the moment, you and I are both in separate rooms. You're down in the live room. In fact, if I just spin things around a little, then we can see Phil is sat there downstairs. Give us a wave, Phil. Down in our live room. That's real life, but obviously this is what goes out to the world. So I'm up in the control room, switching the show, checking the audio levels, making sure everybody's dialed in correctly. And Phil can focus on what he does best, on delivering his content. And essentially the studio becomes a webcam and microphone for Phil to join whatever platform the content is being delivered on. So that means that we can push content out to Teams, to Zoom, to Teams events or Zoom webinar, or indeed to any conventional streaming platforms like Vimeo, YouTube, and Facebook. So any platform that a virtual event is being hosted on, we can send content there, and that can include all of the rich media that we've discussed, whether it's video playback, whether it's PowerPoint, whether it's remote guests, that can all be included.
Fabulous. And what about other people who you want to bring in as remote guests? If you want to do that in a very specific way, do they need green screens, or what do they need?
They can have a green screen if they wish. In fact, again, a fortnight ago, I was streaming a live town hall for a large multinational corporation, and their CEO was dialed in from their Chicago office, and we put him in front of a green screen. They sent me the green picture, and I was able to key him into a virtual set and make him part of the show, even though he was thousands of miles away. And a lot of what makes that possible and reliable is something that you alluded to a moment ago. We've had a very significant upgrade to our internet connectivity over the last year to make sure that this is as robust and as reliable as possible. So we now have a leased line coming into the premises, as well as failover systems with straightforward fibre to the cabinet, and indeed a mobile system as well. So the internet isn't going down, whatever happens, unless something were to land on the building. But then we'd be more concerned about that, I think.
Fabulous. Thanks, Matt, in your usual laconic style. Lovely tour around the studio. And that's just a quick kind of overview of really what Matt's got. I think the key points here for you as event organisers is this is about reliability. What Matt just said about the reliability of the connection. It's about the fact that I can then focus on my delivery rather than thinking about the technology and buttons and all of that sort of stuff. I can focus on what I believe is my strength. It will fit with whatever platform you're using, whether that be Teams or Zoom or any other platform. Plus, we can then focus on replicating the live experience. It'd be great doing live things, and I love doing that and getting people onto stage and doing all sorts of wonderful things like breaking through lumps of wood and all of that mind over matter stuff that we do, and have the fun we have with that. But we want to replicate that as much as possible, and it feels like it's almost impossible in a virtual setting. There are a number of things that we can do to help audience engagement, and that I think is a great asset to have. And the final thing is that this really is all about having a great experience for you. It's about making sure that there is better learning and better takeaway value, because whether it's virtual or live, regardless of the method of delivery, regardless of the vehicle which we're getting information out or knowledge or imparting expertise, it's important to remember never to lose sight of the content value and the takeaway value that you want. And all of these things are about me being able to deliver tried and tested and proven strategies that work to help you improve your performance, enhance results, and get the audience to enjoy even greater success. Thank you very much, and I wish you every success and look forward to speaking with you at some point soon.